Hello everyone, welcome to this series on literary terms and literary theory. If you want to study the notes and MCQs related to this term, you can click the link given in the description. We are also going to start our online and offline classes for UGC NET for English literature very soon. So stay connected with us. In this video, we will discuss the term free verse. Introduction. Free verse, also known as open form verse or vers libre, is a prominent literary form that deviates from traditional metrical structures and rhymes found in classical poetry. It emerged as a response to the rigid rules of formal verse, allowing poets to experiment with rhythm and line lengths to achieve unique effects. This video explores the origins, development, and diversity of free verse in modern poetry. Origins of free verse. The roots of free verse can be traced back to the influence of Russian formalism, a literary movement that emphasized the concept of literariness and poetic form. Early experiments with departures from regular meters were observed in the works of William Blake, Matthew Arnold, and other poets of England and America during the 19th century. However, it was Walt Whitman who truly revolutionized poetry with his groundbreaking use of varying verse lines and reliance on cadenced units in Leaves of Grass. French symbolists and intensive use. The late 19th century saw French symbolist poets making significant contributions to free verse experimentation. Their work inspired American and English poets, especially after World War I, to embrace free verse as a mode of poetic expression. Notable poets like Rainer Maria Rilke, T.S. Eliot, Ezra Pound, and William Carlos Williams became key figures in the intensive use of free verse during this era. Diversity in free verse measures. One of the defining characteristics of free verse lies in its diversity. Within this form, there exists a broad distinction between long-lined verses, often orotund, that draw inspiration from translated poetry of the Hebrew Bible, and shorter-lined conversational forms employed by the majority of writers in free verse. Poets relinquish the drive, beat, and song achievable by traditional meters in favor of exploiting other rhythmic possibilities. For instance, E. E. Cummings' poem Chanson Innocente showcases the poet's use of conspicuous visual cues to control pace, pause, and emphasis, effectively breaking away from regular line patterns. A contrast in free verse forms. As free verse developed, poets experimented with various techniques to create powerful and diverse poetic effects. In Langston Hughes' Mother to Son, the second and sixth lines are metrically parallel, enhancing their opposition in reference, while the single word line, bear, contrasts starkly with the longer line it follows. A. R. Emmons's Small Song exemplifies how free verse poets can recall and adapt traditional stanza forms and meters within the boundaries of open form verse. The new formalism. Contemporary poets and critics have initiated a movement termed the new formalism, advocating for a return to traditional meters, rhyme, and stanza forms. This trend is seen as a response to the perceived freedom and lack of structure in free verse. While free verse remains a dominant form, this resurgence of interest in traditional poetic techniques is leading to a dynamic and evolving landscape in modern poetry. Conclusion: free verse has emerged as a powerful and versatile form of modern poetry, allowing poets to break away from the constraints of traditional verse and experiment with various rhythmic patterns and line lengths. While some poets embrace the freedom offered by free verse, others are advocating for a return to metrical versification, leading to a dynamic and evolving landscape in modern poetry. The interplay between free verse and traditional forms has enriched the poetic spectrum, ensuring that poetry remains a vibrant and ever-changing art form. So this was the discussion on the term free verse. If you have any questions or doubts, you can ask in the comments section. We will meet in the next video and discuss some other term. Until then, goodbye and thank you.